Hello everybody and welcome back to Regrowth. Welcome to the K1 Ranch, I guess. I can't think of a better name than that. And I made this ranch a little bit too big, to say the least. Basically what happened is there was this natural water feature that was in this area and I decided I wanted to keep it. But that meant extending the ranch out at least this far, and then I wanted it to be square, and so, yeah. So it ended up being an extremely large ranch slash farm. You can see my crops are over there, barn, silo. Right now, I only have pigs, chickens, and sheep. And in case you are wondering if you've not seen any of my videos before, I prefer an open ranch style. I don't like to make little pens that keep the animals in. Free-range chicken, always tastier than cooped-up chickens, in my opinion. So in the barn, there's nothing really in these yet. I just decorated it with some hay bales and... Actually, can we stop for a moment? Can we stop the background music? Yeah. So when I started this series, the world looked very barren and bleak and, well, dead, for lack of a better term. And so I picked some background music that was sort of somber, you know, and you know, kind of a little bit depressing and down to sort of match that. But now I've got animals and grass and trees and plants and crops and flowers. So I feel like that somber music maybe isn't quite so appropriate anymore. So why don't we try something a little bit more upbeat? Okay, no, that's a little too upbeat. Something in the middle, maybe? Yeah, let's go with that. That'll work. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, I got the barn. There's nothing really in there just yet. And I've got the silo over here. Again, there's really not much in here. But I do have... should have been closed. I do have a little trap door. And going down in here is where I'm growing netherwort and red mushrooms and the brown mushrooms. Now, technically, the red and brown mushrooms do not need to be down here. The netherwort would not grow on the surface. The mushrooms would. But I thought if I'm going to make this little thing down here for the netherwort, I might as well put the mushrooms down here as well. Kind of fits thematically, in my opinion. So I just have that there. My idea is to put chests or barrels or something in here which will store all of the crops. You know, the food crops and stuff like that. And put chests or barrels in the barn which would store anything I get from the animals, whether it be their meat or, you know, wool, eggs, feathers, leather, whatever it might be. Now, one of the challenges that comes with an area this large is lighting it up. And you can probably tell that it's lit up, but if I go over here and turn on the, you know, hit F7 to hit the indicator that shows areas that are not lit up, you can see that I have none of those X's over in this area because this is all lit up. Now, lighting stuff up isn't quite so much of a challenge. You can obviously just put torches wherever the heck you like, but not having visible torches is a little more complicated. So what I've done, and you can probably tell if you just kind of look around, but what I've done is I have something called Carpenter's Collapsible Blocks. And of course from the Carpenter's Blocks mod. So if you've not seen one of these, when you place it down, you can use your carpenter hammer to adjust the height of each corner, each of the four corners. So you could have it higher, lower, you could have it, and so you can make whatever crazy shapes you might want to make with it, like that, see? And of course, just like any of the carpenter's blocks, you can right click it with another type of a block and it will take on the look of that particular block. So what I did is I dug holes and I put these torches down in there, put the carpenter's collapsible block on top and just, you know, hammer it down to make sure it's completely flat, paint it with a dirt block, and now I have lit up areas that really don't show. Now, of course, these dirt covered blocks, you know, are obvious because of the grass area, but At some point in time, I'll either be able to make grass blocks, or I can get Silk Touch and dig them up, and then I should be able to paint these with a grass block, and they should just look like grass and you won't be able to tell the difference. At least that's what I hope anyway. The other thing though is that using Chisel Mod, you can take a torch and you can make torches look like any of these selections here. Now these last two I think are supposed to look like light bulbs. And so, oops, well I didn't mean to do that. And so what happens is if you have a torch like so, and you have one of these lights, you can see these particle effects that are coming off of the torch, but they're not coming off of this. And so these lights are what I am using underneath here. If I put these under, then you would occasionally see the particle effects coming up off of it, which would sort of kind of ruin the effect, at least in my opinion. So I think that turned out pretty good. In my previous video, I showed off this water tank from Railcraft, and Infuego left a comment wondering if this wooden pipe was actually necessary. And his line of reasoning was that since I didn't need any type of engine to activate the wooden pipe, that maybe I didn't need it, I could have just used a cobblestone pipe. So if you're familiar with Buildcraft, you know that normally a wooden pipe is activated by having some type of engine next to it, and yet I didn't need one for the water tank. Well, I thought it was a very good question, and it was one that I didn't have an answer to. So I thought I would check it out right quick. So this is just an empty tank that I should be able to pipe fluids into. And if I put a cobblestone pipe like that, it would appear that it is definitely working. So, Infuego, you are correct. You do not need to have this wooden fluid pipe here. You can do it with just cobblestone pipes. So there's something interesting to find out and to know. Now, also in a previous video, Wolfpax181 left a comment saying I should try to make a crossbow, and I did that. Crossbow was primarily made with alumite, some of the flame string I got from the nether, and I made the crossbow bolts with alumite as well. Now, this crossbow does good damage. As you can see, it's a one-shot kill on anything with just, 10 hearts. But you can also kind of see there how long it takes to load. So you see the targeting crosshairs going in. Ouch. And that's how long it takes for this thing to load. And as much as I appreciate the damage that it does, that loading time is just absolutely terrible. It really is. You can see I have to start with something fairly far away from me. Oh, skeleton! To stop it from getting close enough to me to be able to hit me. And something with a bow is just pretty dangerous anyway. So now the thing is, I'm not really very good at combat in Minecraft, and so having a ranged weapon of some type is very appealing. Now, part of the problem with this bow, there's many things. One is that the strongest metals that I currently have available to me is the alumite. And the alumite is okay, but it's not great. The other issue is that I don't have any redstone. And redstone would be able to be used to make it load faster, I think. I think that's how it works. But not having any means I can't do that. So it kind of leaves me in a little bit of a lurch. That being said, I still want to develop some type of ranged weapon that I can use, because again, being not very good at combat in this game, having something ranged really does help me out. So that's what I want to work toward in this episode, but it's going to take a little bit, but not much. But let's go ahead and get started with all of the steps we need to do. All right, the first thing that I want to do is I'd like to have a way of generating more mana in Botania. So right now, I've just been operating off of the day blooms, most of which I've gotten as rewards for the various quests. And, it does okay, but it's never going to generate a large amount of mana. And I have quite a bit, and I don't really need that much more right now, but I know I'm going to in the future. So I figure it's probably better just to go ahead and be prepared and make a better way of generating mana. And the way I'm going to do that is with the Thermalily. And the Thermalily generates mana from lava. So let me make a few of these Thermalily flowers first. Okay, so now I have 4 of the Thermalilies, and I'm not going to create anything too terribly extensive just yet. And the reason for that is because I know a lot of this is going to change once I have the ability to do more automation. As I said, currently I don't have any redstone, and that's really sort of hampering my ability to do a lot. Even some of the flowers I want to make in Botania require redstone in making a component, which is the redstone root, which is needed to make the flower. So I'm not going to create anything too terribly complex just yet, because again, I know that it is going to change. So I've got 4 Thermalilies. As I said, they're powered by lava, and I'm going to put that lava right there, which is probably fairly obvious. And I think mana will shoot through these flowers. At least I hope it does. So let's link this to this one. And I hope that's going to work. So the next thing that I need is, of course, lava. And what I want to do, let me see if I have a spare super crafting frame. I think I moved them over to this chest. So there we go, super crafting frame, great. And of course I now have fire seeds, which are here, and I come through and harvest them every once in a while, and I put them into this chest. So the question is, oops, let me get out 4 of these. If I put this super crafting frame here, put a bucket in the middle, and 4 of the fire essence along the side, should give me a lava bucket. And so now, if I put, well, I'm going to keep the buckets in my inventory, but I should be able to right-click this 4 times, and now I have 4 buckets of lava. And so I can run down over here, whoop, dump in some lava, and that will get eaten up by one of the flowers. Dump in a second bucket, then the third, and then the fourth. And as you can see, it is generating the mana, sending it over to that mana pool. So not a passive system like the day blooms. I will have to go and get buckets of lava and then put them down there, but at least it's something that will generate more mana than the day blooms will. And so if I need like extra large amounts of mana, that's really going to help. Now, the next thing that I want to make is the ability to alchemize with the mana. And what this involves is making something called the alchemy catalyst. You can see here it's living rock, 2 gold ingots, mana pearls, and a brewing stand. Now the brewing stand requires blaze rods. Fortunately, in one of the previous quests I received as a reward blaze seeds, and so that means I now get blaze essence by harvesting them like that. And I can use the blaze essence to make blaze rods. Hello, welcome to the party. You're a little bit early because I wasn't expecting you, and I don't have a weapon for some reason. There we go. Go away. Oh, stupid head thing. I don't like you. Whew, okay. And crossbow, bink. All right. So yes, so I can use the essence, the blaze essence, in order to make blaze rods. So that will make that process simpler. So let me make the alchemy catalyst and I'll be back. Okay, so now I have the alchemy catalyst and it just needs to be placed underneath a mana pool with, well, it doesn't have to have mana in it, but it won't do anything if it doesn't have mana in it. So we'll put it underneath there. You can kind of see the texture of the alchemy catalyst, so you know this one has it and this one doesn't. And this then allows us to affect various changes. So if we go back to the book, you'll see things like rotten flesh into leather. Now this is a good one for me actually, because I need leather in order to make the cow spawn eggs. That's why I don't yet have any cows on my ranch. So I will be able to turn some of the leather, or some of the zombie flesh, into leather and finally get some cows. And there are various other things that it will do and change things. But what I want to do at this point is I want to harvest up this cactus real quick, like so. And I can always jump into my ranch, but I cannot jump out of it. So we got to go through the gates. And we're going to head back over here to the alchemy catalyst, because it turns out that if I drop cactus into the mana pool with an alchemy catalyst, as you can see, it turns it into the green slime balls. So I'm going to just go ahead and turn all of these into slime balls, because I'm sure I'll use them at some point in time. But now I have slime balls, which I've had a hard time collecting these because I don't see many green slimes at all. I've seen a few blue slimes, but not very many green ones. Or maybe I haven't seen any green ones, I'm not even sure. But anyway, enough of that, let's look at the next step. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to take these slime balls, combine them with sand and with dirt, and this will give me slimy mud. And slimy mud can be thrown into the furnace, and it cooks up into, I think it's called slime crystals. Is it called a slime crystal? I cannot remember. Slime crystal, yes, there we go. So it cooks up into a slime crystal, and this is what we'll use to craft with. The next thing we want to do is take sugar canes, turn it into paper, and take the paper and turn it into paper stacks like this. And this is also used in Tinker's Construct as a construction material. So now what I want to do is check my pattern chest to see if I have already, which I don't. Oh wait, yeah, I must have made this already. It's a shuriken pattern. So I'm going to take that out. I didn't have to take it out of there, but I'm going to put it in here. And so I can put this paper in there and I'll get a paper shuriken, which of course isn't, you know, the greatest thing in the world, but there's a method to this madness. I'm going to make 2 of these like so. And somehow I think that got screwed up, but that's okay. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take out some of these slime crystals, and I'm going to turn this into 2 slimy shurikens, like so. Like that. Alright. And what happens is you can see the durability on the slime shurikens is very high. It's 400. And the durability on the paper ones is only 17. So if we go here to the tool forge and go to the shurikens, you can see we need 4 different kinds. I'm going to put in paper, I think has to go like this, and slime like that. And that's only 52 ammo. If I go like this, does it change? Now, what I'm primarily looking for here is where it says repair material. You can see the repair material is slime. I don't want that. So I want this top one here to be paper. And then that means that the repair material is paper, meaning that I can, with ammunition, it's a little bit strange. You're not really repairing, you're sort of replacing. But that means I can replace the used up shurikens with paper, which, as you can see, is an easy thing for me to get because I have the sugarcane farm. Now you'll see there that that will give me 52 shurikens that do 3 hearts of damage. But a key thing there is it has 5 modifiers. So 52 with 5 modifiers. And I'm going, and as you can see, it has 3 hearts of attack damage. So I'm going to go ahead and make that. And so now I have that, but I have 5 modifiers. Well, the modifier I want to use is quartz, because quartz causes it to do more damage. So now, fortunately, I also have out here, right here, nether essence. And I can harvest up nether essence, like so. And nether essence can be used to make quartz. So let me make a bunch of quartz, and put them on these shurikens, see what happens. Okay, so let's take a look here. I have gone ahead and filled up modifiers. As you can see, I've just been adding quartz. I've got 2 modifiers remaining. I'm going to go ahead and do this again. And let's see, I hope this works. 16, 24, 32, 40, and 48. And so you can see now the attack damage is 13.5 hearts, which would be 26 points of damage. That's a lot. If I could add more quartz, because you see I have 1 more modifier remaining. I could add another set of quartz. But what I think might be interesting to try is to add slimy moss. Slimy moss, is that what it's called? I believe that's what it's called. It's right here. Ball of moss. And the ball of moss will give it a regeneration or a repair type of an effect, which could be really useful. Now, I believe that I can make... Oh, what is that doing out there? I believe I can make slimy moss with this nature essence. So let's go ahead and look at the recipes. Yeah, see, I can just surround it with some cobblestone. Do I have any on me? No, but that's okay. So I can go in here and give me 16 things of cobblestone, like that. We'll run over here, do up 2 of these, like so, and put 9 of these in a block, and we'll have a ball of moss. Okay, so let's run back over to our work area, our garage, I guess, maybe. And if I put this in with the ball of moss, it'll now have auto repair, as you can see up at the top. Slimy, sharpness, and auto repair. So I now have 52 shurikens, which should do a pretty good chunk of damage. Let's go find some things to throw this stuff at. Now, I've never used a shuriken, so I'm not sure how this works. I'm assuming it's just a matter of right-click and throw. The other thing I don't know is what the range is, but here comes a zombie. Let's test it out on this guy. Step right up, sir. Just come in for a test. And I missed. And I hit, but it didn't kill him. Alright. 2 hits to kill him. 2 hits to kill him. Alright. Oh! So I do miss a little bit, and 13.5 hearts of damage minus, obviously, armor. So, It's also pretty fast. I can kind of almost spam throw these things. Spam click. Of course, if I do it too fast, it will not hit. That guy's got armor. Take out the head thing. 3, 4 hits to take out the armored guy. Well, I do like it, but the damage isn't quite what I was hoping for. He's out. Still, 2 hits to destroy stuff isn't bad. Okay, I've been doing some experimentation. Now, this is the shurikens that I just made, the paper and slime shurikens. And again, the amount of ammo is 52, the attack is 13.5. Now, the point of the build was that paper gives you more modifiers, which means I can put more quartz on it to give more damage. And the slime has a pretty good, pretty high durability, which affects the quantity of the ammo that I get. So this is what I had made before. I did some experimentation and I made these shurikens, which are 2 paper pieces and 2 alamite pieces. Now you can see I did the exact same thing. I put moss and quartz. It's the same amount of moss, the same amount of quartz. And where this one had 13.5 hearts of damage, this one has 14.5 hearts of damage with 57 ammo. So I get 5 more shurikens, but each one is going to do an extra heart of damage. So I thought that was pretty good, and my repair material is still paper if I wanted to repair it. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and I'll see you in the next episode.